Hello and welcome to the Dinosaw for week 36. Another 7 curious, interesting things I saw this week. So, first one is China. China have been cracking down on all things social and gaming. So if you run a website in China that promotes things like celebrity culture, for instance, you might have top 10 lists of celebrities or show what they get up to, then you might have punitive fines. You might, for instance, have your merchandise withdrawn, those sorts of things. And also, if you are under 18, then you can only play games on a Friday, a Saturday and a Sunday, and only for an hour a day on those 3 days. So you're limited to 3 hours a week. So this is all part of what the government call their common prosperity vision. So it's really going back to a sort of a more Marxist principles there. But there is actually some science or some health behind this as well. So some research turns out that between 12 and 14-year-olds, 72% of 12 and 14-year-olds in China have short-sightedness or myopia. So they put that down to staring at screens. So, you know, in the interest of having a strong, fit and healthy country and population, then they're cracking down on these rules as well. So various reasons for that, obviously, but that's kind of interesting. That's why it's here. If you're an ABBA fan, you'll be very happy to know that there is a reunion. So 40 years ago was actually the last time they played together. So the word ABBAtars is not really a thing. That's just made up. However, this is a 1.5 hour show. It contains 2 new tracks. And it's actually been brought to life by Industrial Light and Magic, them of movie special effects fame. So what they've done here is they've actually taken the 4 performers and they've actually motion captured them actually performing all of their tracks once again. So there's some great videos of behind the scenes and all that sort of stuff. So tickets go on sale. It's an actual thing. So this is in the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park in London. And I think these tickets go on sale September. So broadly speaking, nowish. As I say, it's an hour and a half. It's all on video, so it's not holograms or anything like that. So it's not projected onto meshes and things. It is actually a screen that you go to. There is a live band as well, so the actual performances will be electronic, but the band will be live. There you go. So if you're a big ABBA fan, check it out. Will the iPhone be able to talk to satellites? Now, this was the big. There was basically some Mac rumors about what the new iPhone 13 will have in it. The iPhone 13 is going to be released probably this year at some point. And one of the things that came out as the rumor is that in emergencies, then it will be allowed to call satellites. Now, this went rife, and if you probably look online, you'll find huge amounts of articles about this. However, if you dig into it a little bit, it actually falls apart pretty quickly because when you struggle to actually get your aerial in your antenna in your phone to probably go 20 miles to the latest cell tower, then going up possibly minimum of 350 miles up to 22,000 miles is pretty impossible. So there's a muddle of truth in this, in that there is a Qualcomm modem in there, and there is a terrestrial band that can be opened up for certain modems. I think Nokia use this already, and this is called a band 53 or N53 for a special version of it. It just gives you a bit more bandwidth. It's either used for private communications, but they might try and open it up for more bandwidth on your phone, i.e. better calls. So that's pretty much what that is. So if you heard that rumor, it's probably not going to happen, only just because the technology isn't there. So if you've ever seen a satellite phone, you'll realize why you can't just kind of add that as a quick extra into a small iPhone. But there you go. So probably won't happen, so ignore the rumors for now. And I must say this right, Alethea AI is really interesting. So I've talked a lot about NFTs on these, so non-fungible tokens. I won't really go into what they are, but essentially they're sort of unique pieces of artwork, usually GIFs or images, that you get some sort of digital certificate to show that you own it. Now, up until now, it's really been things like videos or static images that have been put up on the marketplaces as NFTs. So Alethea are basically predicting the metaverse, in that there would be this big, all-consuming, avatar-based, animated, intelligent future on the internet. So when you buy your avatar, or when you have a basically something that will represent you, then how does it speak? How does it actually make intelligent conversation? So what you don't want to be doing is creating an NFT avatar every single time using all the technology every single time. So what they're now predicting you will need is a whole suite of technology that will underpin these new interactive NFTs or iNFTs. So for instance, artificial intelligence, text-to-speech, predictive speech, those sorts of things, animation, 3D generation, those sorts of things. So, so yeah, that's what they do. Check them out. They've just gone through a huge round of investment, which they've got. They also sold one of their NFTs for I think something like $500,000 or something crazy. So they know what they're doing. You can go to their website. It's a little bit clunky. You're actually seeing it right now. I tried to generate one and it didn't actually work, but there you go. But I thought the more interesting thing was this is obviously where the future is of services or application layers that generate more interesting and interactive NFTs. There you go, all the words. Hydrogen creation, this is one of my sort of pet things as well, is anything to do with energy or energy creation. And there's been a bit of a step forwards in hydrogen generation. Now, this is actually using cobalt and manganese. I won't particularly go into it, but basically it uses polyaniline wires, which are very, very tiny sort of nano wires. You coat them in this stuff, and then what you can do is you dunk them into water and you put a very small voltage through them. Because they are these micro wires with this very special metal on them, they actually have a huge surface area. So that allows them to come in contact with lots more molecules of water than they would normally do. If you pass just 1.54 volts through them, then they can actually start bubbling off hydrogen and I guess oxygen on the other electrode, and you can collect that. So 1.54 volts is not a lot, so you can connect this to a solar panel, dunk the electrodes into a bowl of water, and then hey presto, you have hydrogen on demand. So this could be used for domestic cooking, heating. It could even be used for cars, for instance. So not only do you put water in, you put a little bit of solar energy in, you get hydrogen, you can burn the hydrogen, and then it just creates water when that burns as well. So it's a brilliant system. They've had it running for over 40 hours and it showed no sort of drop in efficiency. As I say, super interesting. If you're into that sort of thing, that's a cool thing. Twitter super follows. So Twitter are really a bit late to the party, I guess. But this is like a Patreon type feature where you can pay to follow your favorite influencers or content creators. So there are 3 tiers. There is $2.99, there's $4.99, and $9.99 per month. So you sign up to that, and when they then create tweets, they can then send them out to their super followers, and you get to see it. So at the moment it's only on tweets, but it will all be lots of things like live videos soon, all those sorts of things. So new feature. Everybody else has kind of had this for a while, but Twitter are getting there as well. So if you run a Twitter feed or accounts, then this will be coming to you soon. It's only in Canada at the moment and only on iOS. So don't expect to see it anytime soon. But they've mentioned it will be rolling out within weeks. So there you go. And finally, this is some AR packaging news. So this is actually Matthew Hellberg, who is an AR artist, obviously augmented reality artist. There's all sorts of really cool stuff if you go and check out his Instagram feed, YouTube videos, that sort of thing, and posted this, which is really neat. So this is just a demo of how you might be using your augmented reality specs to peruse products in the supermarket. So this is not fantastically new. We've seen this sort of video before, but I thought this was just really interesting in that now the glasses that will allow this to happen are being released. So within the next year you will be able to do this for real. So I thought it was just worth rekindling that fire just to show you where we're going with all of this. Again, if you're a packaging company, I've got a little bit of that in my previous past. This is really exciting, but all of a sudden you better be tooling up for doing this as well. It's not just about design and cardboard anymore. There you go. So with that we are done. Hopefully that was useful, hopefully it was interesting, and I will see you next week.